headphones here. Well, I gotta get the old trimmer out and getting a little fuzzy. I'm gonna have to shave my head. Okay. Let's get some chat going here. Okay, the delay is done. Do we have some chat? Okay, we have a chat screen. Good. And Kathy's in the door. All right, pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee. I switched out microphones. This one sounds good to me. I hope it sounds good out there. I haven't used this one in ages. Matter of fact, it's a XLR microphone, and I have the converter transformer on it, so hopefully the volume, because that echo, oh God, it drove. When I did the replay this morning, holy shit! I don't know why that mic. I don't know why I'm getting the damn echoes on the microphones, but all right, the Rambo's here. Come on. Gee. Broadcasting live from station WDWL TV Studio 1. Our corporate offices are located on Grumpy Vulture Boulevard, and my private 2 studios are located on Grumpy Old Man Road. And for you first-timers, this is me, right there. And introducing the Grumpy Jackalope. Hey. Oh, Jesus Christ, you pain in the ass. And the Grumpy Vulture. Take your bow. Banner straight. I don't want to hear nothing out of you. Don't talk back. All right, that's it. That's it. I'll hear about that tomorrow. Yeah, there you go. Little zip tie on the beak. And, okay, conserve on energy. There we go. Holy shit. Did it get cold last night? Jesus. I thought I was sleeping in a meat locker. I'm going to have to take the air conditioner out of the window. That's all there is to it. Yeah, well, it appears that when you own a Passat, you do a lot of rebuilding. I got the brake pads today, so hopefully it's going to be a little warmer tomorrow. Put the brakes on, front and rear. That way, that'll be over and done with. I'm waiting for that door panel regulator to get here, because I can't put the mirror on until, well, I could, but I don't want to tear the door apart twice. I got the key fob today. Now I gotta find a lock and key shop that cuts them goofy ass flat keys. What a stupid. You flip the key fob and the key looks like a little squiggle cut in metal. Yeah, well, that's going to be me tonight. An extra blanket on the bed. I'm gonna I'm gonna buy me one of those little tiny ceramic heaters that they've been advertising. Mary Ann bought one last year and she swears by that little thing because she works upstairs. She has the whole upstairs as her office. And it's only got one heat vent. So she bought one of them little, God, it looks about this big. And it plugs in and it's got a thermostat and she sets it for 70. And she says basically like within 20 minutes that room is to the point where she has to lower the thermostat. And when she showed it to me, there's like nothing to it. But it's amazing. Well, her office is like 3/4 of the attic. Now it's all finished because it was a kid's bedroom years ago before she bought the house, and she works from home, and she doesn't like to be disturbed, so she puts her office upstairs, and she said in the winter with the one heat vent all the way at the other end of the room, it doesn't get like over 60. So she bought one of them little tiny ceramic heaters. And when she showed it to me, I laughed at her and I said, "Oh, Mary Ann, you fell for that as seen on TV." She says within 20 minutes, that whole attic goes from 60 to 70, and she has to turn the thermostat down because then it gets too warm. So I'm thinking of getting one because my bedroom is only 10 by 12. I mean, I've got a brand new electric blanket. It's still in the box. But, when you're warm and toasty in bed, then you go to get up in the morning and slip your feet in the ice cold slippers. So I'm thinking of buying one. She only paid like $25 for it. I'm going to ask her where she got it. Probably Walmart. I think she bought it online off of Walmart. I'll have to ask her. Because she said, like, if she has, like, when her son and, his wife come over and they want to sit in the living room, she brings the thing downstairs and plugs it in the living room and warms the living room up. So I'm going to ask her where she got it and what brand it is. And it's amazing nowadays, you know. God, back in the day, you had them big, goddamn metal heaters with fans in them, and you could see the metal coils heating up. Now you have something, you know, about this big. That way, you know, 20 minutes before bedtime, turn the thing on, get the room warmed up, and then crank the thermostat down maybe to like 66, 67. Because before I go to bed, I usually put my electric blanket on broil. Because I'm a freeze baby. But then I turn the thing down to like 2. Because once you fall asleep, unless, you know, you're sleeping in the middle of an ice cave, uh, you're warm. Like right now, it's 56. Now, I shouldn't complain, you know, it's October, but I need a couple decent days to get the car finished. Not to mention, I still have to mount the bracket on the front bumper for the fog lamps and the siren speaker. And figure out if I'm going to put them 2 tailgate lamps on the rocker panels. I did test. They're long enough. Perfect. They're just perfect size. I still have to figure out where I'm going to mount them scanners. There is just no room in that car. And I really don't want to drill holes. Maybe I could luck out and mount them under the glove box. I'll have to check tomorrow. So how's the eye doing? I'm getting some static now. Why am I getting static? Why is this microphone giving me static all of a sudden? Oh, maybe that's part of the problem. Something don't look right here. Oh, geez, come on. Get the truck in the driveway already. God. Oh, oops. Hang on. I just discovered something haywire here. There we go. Okay. The shock mount was falling apart. no, that's why. Okay, hold on a minute. Got to do some adjustments. I just realized when I put the shock mount together, I didn't put the shock straps in the right place. There we go. Now we're better. What's if I can be nosy, Kathy? What strength are your reading glasses? Because I only need these for like on the computer or if I'm reading 175. Oh, you got a good correction rate. Wow. I'll tell you how bad my eyes were. And he got me corrected as close as it. These are 250. The reading glasses are 250. He couldn't get. He told me, he says, either I'm going to give you vision or I'm going to give you close up. What do you want? And I said, I want distance. So he said, all right, I'll give you the distance, but you're going to need some strong reading glasses. And I'm thinking strong Coke bottles, you know. Now, when I'm driving, well, I use those little halfies and I pull them down so that they don't interfere. And I got great distance. But for reading and computer work, yeah, I'm at a 250. You got a hell of a correction rate. Man, that's great. Do you do much on a computer or a laptop? Because there was one thing that he suggested that I get, and I ordered. Oh shit! I just went blank. I hate when this shit happens. Oh, online communications class. All right. Oh, get yourself blue light. Blue light glasses. They make a big difference when you're working on a computer screen. They might be anti-blue light, but they're blue light. I get mine from readers.com. As a matter of fact, both of my blue light glasses are Foster Grants. and I only paid I got them on sale. They were like $15 a pair, and they're really great. Matter of fact, like I said, I shouldn't be wearing these right now, but I'm not sitting here constant because my blue light readers are over on the other console in the other studio. Matter of fact, I get all of my glasses from readers.com. They have great prices, and as a matter of fact, when when my eye doctor told me I needed readers, he said, don't he said don't go to you know eyewear ink or whatever. He told me, he says, go on readers.com and look for blue light, and I happened to hit a sale, and I paid like $15.95 a piece, and they're Foster Grants. They're the lens, the frames are nice and sturdy. I couldn't believe it because Foster Grants, if you get like regular reading glasses, they're 40, 50, 60 bucks. But every now and then, readers will run a sale. And I got both of my blue light glasses from them. And they have from 1.00 all the way up to like 5.00. Matter of fact, once you buy something from them, every time they have a sale, they'll send you an email. Like right now, I can get any glasses 40% off. So tomorrow, I'm going to look. I want to see if I can get readers in the half. Get the blue light in the half. But I swear by readers.com. Because I remember when he told me, buy them online, I says to him, I says, the only place I can think of is that Warby Parker. He said, oh, stay away from them. I was like, oh, okay. Where do I get them? He said, readers.com. I said, okay, I can remember that. And, I mean, I have several pair of... Matter of fact, these halfies that I wear, they were 2 for the price of 1. Buy one, get one. So I bought 2 just in case I broke one. But they're always running deals. Always. And a lot of time, the items on sale, there'll be several different pair of Foster Grants. I believe, Kathy, if you go on readers.com right now, I believe you would get the sale price as kind of an introductory first-time customer deal. But I swear by them. I probably have frickin' 10 pair of glasses. Of course, I'm OCD, But the blue light readers, I've got 2 pair different frames, and they're both Foster grants. And when I'm working at a computer, you notice the difference because your eyes don't get strained. Okay, readers.com, you owe me a couple of free pair now. I'm hawking your website. So when you get done with this course, what is this a college course you're taking? And then do you get a degree when you get done? Sounds interesting. I would tell people I'm taking an online communications class and they go, "Oh, are you finally going to stop fucking swearing? You're going to learn how to communicate?" No. Oh, okay. I read an article this morning and they did a nationwide study. And you know what the sweariest city in America is? Take a guess what the sweariest city in America is. Oh, the class is for free. No, Baltimore. Cleveland ranked like 15. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Yeah, Baltimore is the sweariest city in America. I thought for sure it would be New York. New York ranked like number 3. Chicago came in like number 4. I can't remember who number 2 was. Either San Diego or San Francisco. But yeah, Baltimore, the sweariest city in America. They basically said people can't finish a sentence in Baltimore unless they have a swear word in it. And I thought I was bad. Holy shit. So, not to be too nosy, how do you how do you qualify for the free class? I'm interested. Be something great to pass the time during the winter. Although I'll tell you, I've been watching them Indian websites. Oh my God. Well, I qualify. If you don't mind, email me the information. I'd like to look into it. We're going to kind of shorten the show tonight. I'm probably just going to go till like 8:30 instead of 9 because oh, my buddy's 90-year-old father made a fresh batch of hot Italian sausage today. He made 25 pounds and he brought me over about 3 pounds. So I went up and of course Mark's didn't have any Italian hoagie buns. So I bought a baguette. The sucker's about 3 foot long. I'm going to slice it and I'm going to have my Italian sausage and I'm going to cook up some peppers and onions. I got green peppers, red peppers, yellow peppers, and a Vidalia onion. And I'm going to smother that Italian sausage with onions and peppers. But cooking that needs tender loving care. So I don't want it to like explode like a rice sausage, so I'll need a little extra time to make my dinner. Yeah, he was up at 4 o'clock this morning. Now he's 90 and functions like he's 60. He was up at 4 o'clock, went down to the packing plant so that he could get natural casings, and then he hand cuts all the meat and then hand grinds it, and I mean by hand. And then when he gets all the meat done, then he's got a attachment he puts on the grinder and he slides the casings on it and feeds it through. As my buddy called and he said, "You've got to stop over." And I really didn't feel like it, although I didn't say that. I said, "Why? What's up?" He said, "Dad brought you some fresh made hot Italian sausage. I'll be right there." I was out the door. There were flames on my shoes. I was moving so fast. Yeah, every time he makes it, he thinks of me. He tells my buddy, This is for that crab-ass friend of yours." I said, "Oh, he knows me." God, I would like to move like him at 80, let alone 90. The guy's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. He's going to be 91, I think, the end of November. My buddy will let me know. They have a birthday party for him every year. They make him wear a party hat and everything, blow out the candles. Well, he only has 2. Last year it was a 9, and a O. Could you imagine 90 fucking candles on a cake? He'd go into respiratory failure trying to blow them all out. One of these days, I'm going to ask him if I can get like 10 pounds and section it out and put it in the freezer. Which to him would be blasphemy. Oh, God. Take fresh Italian sausage and stick it in the freezer. Yeah, I gotta call the Lakewood Lock and Key tomorrow and ask them if they cut them stupid fucking keys. At least it's not, no key, where you just carry around a key fob with you. Let me grab it. I'll show you this stupid thing. Headphones. It's like a switchblade. And you push the button, and there's the key. Look at that stupid thing. It's a squiggle. But since the car only has one key, I decided to get a spare, so I gotta find out. And then once I'm legal, then I have to go back and they have to program the frickin' remote so that it locks, unlocks, opens the trunk, panic button, Oh yeah, a lot of the foreign cars have these stupid keys. Come on, focus. See, it's a squiggle. Dual-sided. Key goes in either way. But it's just a little squiggle. I say most of your foreign cars have keys like this. I don't know if any American cars use this stupid key, but I've seen it like, well, definitely Volkswagens, what the hell? Oh, Audi, well, Volkswagen and Audi, I'm trying to think of a couple others. I've never seen. Now, oh, wait a minute. My son's Impala had the same damn thing. His 2017 Impala had the same stupid thing. So GM is using them too. I don't think Ford uses them at all. I think Ford still uses a key. But yeah, that's right. His Chevy Impala had the same, because when he showed it to me, I was like, that ain't no key. And the salesman went, well, here, go try it. Although I like the way Volkswagen is set up. In, you can use the key fob to lock and unlock the doors. Also, when I go to use the key in the driver's door, it automatically unlocks all four at the same time. I like that feature. I like using a key myself. But if all four doors are locked and I go to unlock the driver's door, all four unlock. The one thing, which is a safety feature, but it irritates me, when you start to take off, as soon as the car starts to roll, it automatically locks all four doors, which is a good thing, especially because I have a bad habit not locking doors. And it'd be my luck some goddamn carjacker try to get in the car and pull me out, throw me in the street. Although I'm glad Volkswagen went back to standard seatbelts. Back in the 80s, they had automatic seatbelts. And you get in the car, you close the door, and you turn the key on, and the belt would come. And every time I go to get out of the car, I would hit my goddamn head on that goddamn seatbelt. They were automatic, and they were bullshit. Now it's a normal seatbelt. Just reach back and click. Because I wear my seatbelt religiously. Remember them stupid things? When it stopped, it was right about here. When you go to get out, it would rotor the seatbelt away, and it was right here. And I'd go to get out, and I'd be smacking my head on that thing. I'll tell you, if I get busy or have something on my mind, and I get in the truck, and I forget to click my seatbelt, I probably don't drive 20 feet. And I'm like, whoa, seatbelt. I don't feel right without my seatbelt anymore. And it goes back to 1998 when I got stopped by a state trooper. I told the story. The cute little pixie state trooper. And she looked in the car and went, oh, neither of you gentlemen are wearing your seatbelt. And I was like, oh, shit. I'm going to get a speeding ticket and a seatbelt ticket. And she handed me my paperwork back and said, I'll make a deal with you. If you click that seatbelt, I'll let you off with a warning. Man, I was like, whew. And from that day, I have never driven without a seatbelt. Like I say, I don't feel right. I'm like, where's the belt? But she was a cutie for a state trooper. She just barely made the height requirement, I'll say that. First time I ever saw a female that looked good in a straw hat. Oh, yes. Yeah. You would probably get written up if you didn't have your seatbelt on. Yeah, I could see. You get into the habit of clicking that seatbelt in the bus, and when you get in your vehicle, you get in the same habit. Yeah. Good habit, though. Good habit. You know, when they say seatbelts save lives, they do. I swear by seatbelts. I really do. I've watched too many videos of police chases where people aren't wearing seatbelts. And then when the old trooper gives them the pit maneuver, they get ejected. And I always make sure I have my headrest adjusted to hit me like right in the back of the head. Oh, you drove one of them buses. I'm trying to Bluebird. Because the Freightliner, the engine's up front. Bluebird, the engine's right next to you. Yeah, Bluebird motor coaches. I almost bought one years ago. I went to a public auction, and they had a shorty. You know, the one they make fun of. Ha ha, you rode the short bus. Well, they had this little shorty Bluebird. I've never saw one that short. And I was bidding on it, and there was a guy bidding against me, and I really wanted it. I was going to turn it into a little motorhome. But it was a Bluebird motor coach. And it was a manual. It wasn't an automatic. That was another reason I wanted it. And finally, I turned to the guy next to me. I said, if you want it that bad, I'll quit bidding. Then I found out he flipped it. He bought it to make money. I was going to make a motorhome out of it. But it was a cutie. It was a shorty. I think it was only like 20 feet long. But I wanted that thing so bad. Oh, man. Bluebird motor coach. Actually, you know, the Bluebirds, are actually easier to drive because you know right where the front end is at all times. A Freightliner, you know, you got that big nose in front of you, and you can't really judge distance like at a traffic light. But with a Bluebird, you drove the short. I love it. Kathy drove the short bus. I always used to. I never rode a bus to school. We didn't have busing until a few years after I graduated. But I always heard the joke, you know, the dumb kids rode the short bus, you know. Like when I'd go out and visit my cousins, you know, they rode a school bus. And when one of their friends would say something stupid, they go, "Oh, you must have rode the short bus." But I wanted that Bluebird. Oh, I wanted that thing so bad. Matter of fact, they were getting rid of it because it was a manual. And even back then, they were having problems finding drivers that knew how to drive. Still today? I wouldn't think today's generation kids would get that joke. I'm glad to hear it's still going strong. You rode the short bus. All right, all right, all right. No talking. Damn bird. Oh, I found, believe it or not, now, I haven't been inside of a church in probably 60 years. I found one of my favorite cassettes, and it's called The Priests. They're three Irish priests that have got voices to die for. Oh my God, I love this tape. Or tape. Flat tape. It's a flat tape. It's a flat tape. I'll tell you what, three perfect harmonizing voices. A friend of mine gave this to me, and he basically said, it's got one song on there that I know you really like. And there are several on here that I've grown to like. But when they sing, You'll Never Walk Alone, oh my God, it almost brings tears to your eyes. There's not enough light. I can't really read. Of course, you know, they do Ave Maria, but when he first gave it to me, I was like, three priests? Come on. Outstanding voices. Outstanding voices. Okay, you guys, you owe me royalty for promoting your CD. I can't wait to play that in the Passat. because that car's got a dynamite sound system. Of course, talking to the Volkswagen mechanics, they told me that the Passat GLS, which I have, which is almost top of the line, the GLX is the top of the line. I've got the GLS. And it's got the same sound system that an Audi A4 has. Because all four doors have tweeters up in the top, and then down at the bottom it's got mid-range and woofers. And oh God, when I crank that sound in that car, oh, I'm glad that I got the radio working. Even if I did spend $45, buy that other radio that I probably won't use, but I'm going to hang on to it anyway. I really was looking forward to the flat screen, because the flat screen comes out all touch, GPS or mute AM. The problem is, it's only an FM radio. I listen to AM a lot. Matter of fact, so far, National Public Radio, NPR, is still on the air. Now, from what I hear, they're going to slowly disappear because old Big Hair doesn't like what they say. Oh yeah, Kathy, I can't wait to take my portable CD player out and plug it in and play that. Just to hear, oh, that sound system is unreal. I had a cassette in yesterday. It was all 60s top tunes. Coming back from the Indian store, I was cranking Run Around Sue. I'm sitting at a traffic light, and there were some young kids standing on the corner waiting to cross the street, and they were like, I heard one of them go, "What's that old man listening to?" I'm listening to real music, not rap crap. I don't know how those kids can listen to that shit. And unfortunately, sooner or later, all the radio stations will be playing that crap. Like our oldie station, Magic 105.7. They are slowly coming up. Back in the day, they were playing 50s and 60s music. Now they're playing, 80s and 90s, and I'm like, oh, I can't listen to that shit. That's why I'm glad the car has an AM FM radio so I can turn on NPR. Sometimes I just like listening to talk radio. When I was working on it the other day, I had talk radio on. They were talking about big hair. I could see why he doesn't like talk radio. Boy, I'll tell you, he is going after all the Democrats. He just. The guy's insane. He wants, anything that he thinks is backed by the Democrats, he wants it shut down. And oh boy, I'll tell you what, old Jimmy Kimmel has been poking the bear, man. Since his show came back, he's been poking the bear. And Mr. Big Hair don't like it. He has literally told ABC, I'm going to pull your license. He can't do that. He could tell the FCC to do it, and the director of the FCC could say, hey, fuck you. Although there are some areas that still refuse to carry him. Certain groups of stations owned by loyal Republicans. They're still running Celebrity Family Feud. There is no way he is going to make the whole United States turn Republican. Ain't happening. He's losing his mind. They were joking about Biden, although Biden was kind of losing his mind. This guy ain't much better. I really think he's in the early stages of dementia. I really do. He's not normal. Next thing you know, I'll get shut down now. Somebody will turn me in. I forgot to check the news today. Are we still in government shutdown? Because I know the Democrats aren't going to give in on health care. They are not going to give in. And he thinks he's going to break them. They are not going to change their mind on health care and screw all of the goddamn seniors. Although I don't agree to giving free health care to illegal aliens. I don't agree with that. God, we give them welfare, we give them housing, we give them medical, Jesus. When I was diagnosed with the big C, I couldn't get fucking help from nobody. Not even the American Cancer Association. next week I go see the old podiatrist. Oh, I know, Kathy. Listen to listen listen to Josh or Dirty Hippie. They'll tell you an earful about VA, and that's bullshit. If anybody should be rated on the top of the list and get the best health care, it should be veterans. I had a buddy that basically would go out to the VA, and he told me, he said, if I could afford real health care, I'd quit going out there. Takes forever to get an appointment, and then they just want to blow you off all the time. Because I says to him, I said, what are you complaining about? They just built that brand new building on Brook Park Road. And he goes, yeah. And they cut most of our benefits. Matter of fact, I was shocked that one day I'm driving down Brook Park Road and I was like, whoa, what's that? I turned around. I said, oh, Veterans Administration. I guess the one that out in Brecksville is closed up. That's why they built this one here. Yeah, they get the short end of the stick when it comes to health care. Like he was telling me, the only way you get decent health care is you're one of them poor idiot, not, I shouldn't say idiots, poor guys that got blown up by, like Jeff. You know, goddamn asshole detonates an IED, almost blew his face off. And even he doesn't get decent health care. I feel sorry for him. If anybody deserves it, god damn, give him what he needs, man. He sent me it's a while back, a long email detailing what happened. And he said he was lucky because he caught the guy out of the corner of his eye and he was somewhat able to duck. But unfortunately, he didn't duck enough. And, they said the Vietnam War was nasty. These assholes over there are worse. My one friend that came back from there said they would dig pits. And the pits would have fucking sharpened sticks. And you'd be walking through the jungle and all of a sudden you'd fall in one of these fucking pits. I guess their idea of an IED. Now they use cell phone technology to detonate the damn things. Uh, oh yeah, if the sharpened sticks didn't kill you, the fucking infection killed you. And he said, you're walking through the jungle and everything looks normal. And then all of a sudden you take a step and uh-oh. Because basically, they couldn't get enough landmines. So they came up with this idea of spiked pits. Yeah, my buddy said there were a lot of guys that basically weren't injured too bad, but then, they ended up losing a limb or two from the goddamn infection from whatever they put on them goddamn spikes. He told me one of the guys in his troop fell into one of them pits. And the medic shot him up with a shitload of morphine because he told him, I gotta cut your legs open. He says, I gotta literally douse you in peroxide and wash that fucking wound out as soon as possible. He said the guy had one, it come in the back of his calf and went all the way up to almost to his ass. And the medic told him, I gotta slice you open, man. Then they basically, if they were lucky enough to radio for a chopper and get him to a mobile hospital somewhere where they can disinfect him even more, then get him to a real hospital and pump him full of antibiotics and hope everything heals up. I thank God I missed that one. Oh, my number was so high that basically the Vietnamese would have been having to attack from Kentucky before they would have drafted me. Yeah, I lost 6 friends over there. 6 over there, 1 over here. And my good buddy who passed away 2 years ago, he lucked out. He spent all 4 years of his enlistment at Pearl Harbor, sitting behind a desk typing. that was the first year for the lottery draft, and they televised it. And four of us were sitting in my buddy's living room with his parents watching the, and the first number that came up was his. We were like, oh no. He didn't even finish basic training. He got lucky. They were sitting in the barracks after doing PT, and this full bird colonel comes in and goes, "Who in here knows how to type?" And he was like, "Me. Come with me. You're going to be my personal assistant." And he was like, "Oh no." Then the next morning, he got the word, "Pack up, you're shipping out." "Where am I going?" "You'll find out when you get there." Fucking plane landed in Hawaii. He looked out the window and went, "This don't look like Vietnam." Hawaii, the largest consumer of spam in the world. To this day, they are the largest consumer of spam. Of course, when they get done cooking it, it don't taste like spam. And it all goes back to WDWL. When the war was over, they had a fucking warehouse full of spam, and they told the Hawaiians, "Help yourself, it's yours." And boy, did they learn how to cook spam. Yeah, he did. Oh, man. He said it was the first time in his life he was glad he raised his hand. But he said they were all sitting there, waiting to get in the shower. And this full bird colonel walks in. "Who in here can type?" "Me. Come with me." Because he told me when that troop transport landed, he looked out the window and went, "This don't look like Vietnam." Then the back end of the plane opened up and they walked out, and he was like, "Holy shit, this is Hawaii." He would have re-enlisted, but they couldn't guarantee he would have stayed in Hawaii. So at the end of his 4 years, he went, "See ya." But boy, were his parents happy. We all were. As a matter of fact, his first name is the same as mine. It was him and I and my buddy Paul. All through high school, they called us the Three Musketeers because we were always together, always getting in trouble together. And me and Paul email every week. He's the one that owns the 3 McDonald's. He started as a burger flipper. Worked his way up. He owns 3 McDonald's franchises. Hey, we have a new guest. How you doing, Rudy? He even showed me his diploma from the McDonald's Burger College. I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding. I said to him, when you got your diploma, did you get a Happy Meal too? Yeah, McDonald's has their own college. You actually get a degree, a real diploma. You know, Kathy, I when I hear these kids, oh, I can't find a job, I can't find a job, I tell them, go to McDonald's. Oh, I'm not flipping burgers. I said, well, let me tell you a true story. I says, after graduation, my buddy moved out to Massachusetts. And after he got settled, he went and applied and got a job at McDonald's. Flipping burgers, making French fries. And back in the day, that was when they had the separate little room and the guys would hand cut the French fries. Not like today. And he continued on, saved his money, got a small loan from his uncle, and bought his first franchise. Ran that one for a couple of years, and then mortgaged it to buy a second franchise. Ran the 2 of them for a couple more years, maybe 5, 6 years, and then bought a third franchise. He's got the market cornered up in the wherever in Massachusetts he's at. He owns all 3 McDonald's. And I'm one of the few people that know about it because he don't brag. Matter of fact, when I told my buddy and his wife, they were like, what? Because every now and then he'll send me a card or something, and the envelope has got McDonald's Happy Face stickers all over it. Three. Started flipping burgers and making French fries. Talk about a success story. And he don't flaunt it. He, as a matter of fact, when his mother passed away, she left him her Mercury Grand Marquis. I think it was like a 92 or a 93, and he drove it until the transmission let go. And then, you would think with the money he's got, he could go buy really nice vehicle. No, he bought a 3-year-old used Kia Soul. A senior citizen vehicle. Because I'll tell you what, there are 6 seniors in this neighborhood and they all have Kia Souls. There must be a sign on the Kia dealership. We cater to seniors. Buy a Soul. Matter of fact, the woman down the street, she just bought a new one. I kind of like it. It's a fancy blue and silver two-tone. It's her third one. She won't own anything but a Kia Soul. You know, Kathy, I tell that story and kids are like, oh, you're bullshitting me. No, I'm not. Although today, if you want a McDonald's franchise, they're like $750,000. I don't know how people come up with that kind of money. Yeah, he bought his first one in, I think, 1976. That sounds about right. And then he bought the second one in 81 or 82. And then he bought the third one, I think, in 89. And he told me he don't plan on selling them. He goes in every morning, him and his wife. He manages two because they're kind of close together, and then his wife has the third one. And I asked him, I said, do you have problem keeping employees? And he says, no, because I sit them down and I tell them my life story. And he also said, basically, he pays a good wage. He treats his employees very fair. And he promotes when they deserve to be promoted. Oh, Kathy, I've heard stories like that. I've heard many stories like that. My buddy's daughter is the perfect example. Now, she went to Cleveland State, and her parents paid for her education. And she majored like in English literature or some stupid shit like that. Because he even says to her, what kind of job you gonna get majoring in that? She said, oh, I could get a teaching job. Well, after she graduated, not so much. Hey, Linda's here. Is everybody all fed and watered and fat, sassy, and happy? I guess guess we'll hang out for a while since Linda just got here. I don't care if I eat late. I'll just get 2 fry pans going, one with the Italian sausage and one with the peppers and onions. I'll tell you, I don't pay much attention to fruit and vegetable prices. I wanted a red pepper to go with I've got a couple of Cubanelles. I wanted a red pepper to go with them for my Italian sausage. So I go over to produce and it says red peppers, $2.99 for one stinking pepper. I was like, I ain't buying that. About 3 feet down is a mixture. A green pepper, 2 orange peppers, and a red pepper. $2.99 for all 4. I'm thinking, who is going to pay $2.99 for one pepper? And I looked out and I got a green one, no, a yellow one, 2 orange, and a red for $2.99. I'm thinking to myself, all them fresh red and yellow and orange peppers are going to rot. Because if anybody's paying attention, they're going to buy a 4-pack. I remember back in the day you could buy a case for $2.99 at the farmer's market. God, what are they made of? Titanium? Kathy, I was shocked. Because when I bought the Cubanelles, they were on what I call the ready-to-rot rack. You know, the discount rack. There were 5 big Cubanelles for $1. Well, I've had the one, I got 2 in the fridge. I had 2 left. They're like a week and a half old. They're still perfect. So I figured I got my 2 Cubanelles. I'll pick up a red pepper to mix in with the... I was like, $3 for one pepper? Matter of fact, I picked it up, I put it in my basket, and I went, never mind. Then I walked down about 3 feet, and I was like, oh, here's a yellow, 2 orange, and a red. $2.99. I'll take them. That is, prices are scary. I needed a box of baking soda. $1.49 for a box of baking soda. I remember back in the day paying 10 cents for the same box. Now, I'm dating myself here. Yeah, Kathy, but you got to remember that was big money to them. I remember how my grandparents were, because they came through the Depression. And something would go up 2 cents, and my grandmother'd be pitching a bitch fit. Jesus Christ, you're robbing me. I could, I was shocked. Matter of fact, when I put the pepper down, the woman next to me went, "Is there something wrong with it?" I said, "Yeah, the price." And I was just going to walk away, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw these 4-packs. And they were fresh as can be. Why would I pay $3 for one when I can get 4 for $3? And even that's ridiculous. I didn't dare look at the rest of the produce prices. I didn't want to go berserk in the store. Matter of fact, when I got up to the service desk to check out, I took the Arm& Hammer out and I says, "I can remember paying 10 cents for this box." And she goes, "Yeah, me too." Baking soda. They mine that shit by multiple tons. $1.49 for a little box. But I needed it for my kitty litter. I mix baking soda in with my kitty litter. Although, I get a bag, 20-pound bag, kitty litter. Scented with Glade lavender. Like Boots is going to go, "Oh, it smells nice in here." Yeah, Glade lavender scented kitty litter. I wonder if he'll spend any extra time in the box. "Ooh, this is lavender scented. Oh, ho, 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 ho." Like the cat knows it's lavender scented. Well, in a way, I'm glad, but lavender scent. Kathy, my grandmother always had a big box of baking soda next to the washing machine, and I never asked her why. She always put baking soda in her laundry. I don't know what it does. I never asked her, but she always, as a matter of fact, if she had something with a stain on it, she would scrub it with club soda. She always had bottles of club soda. There'd be club soda, baking soda, and then her laundry detergent. Oxidol. She loved Oxidol. What exactly does it do? Oh, I've heard that. I've heard people brush their teeth with baking soda. I've never tried it, although I don't have any teeth to brush. I could brush my gums. Now, what does club soda do to a stain? She would have something with a stain, and she would scrub it with club soda. She always had a small, stiff bristle brush. I'll have to try it. Next time I do my sheets and pillowcases, and I'll have to put a little baking soda in there. How much do you use? Half a cup? Yeah, Rudy, she used to. Matter of fact, she had a saucer, and she would put, like, say, a tablecloth in the saucer, pour in club soda, and scrub the shit out of it, and then put it in the washer. I always thought maybe she was drinking while she was doing laundry, you know. There a bottle of scotch around here somewhere, Grandma? A quarter to half a cup. I'm going to try it. Matter of fact, it's about time to strip the bed anyway. And I got a brand new set of sheets that I need to wash, so I'll give it a try. The old methods must work. If she had something that had a really nasty stain, she used Feld's naphtha soap to scrub it. I don't know if you can still buy Feld's naphtha soap. She always had a bar of that down at the laundry. I wouldn't know about a shark. I have a Dyson ball, and I love it. That thing will suck the carpet right off the floor. That's an amazing vacuum cleaner. I bought it at a garage sale. People were moving. I said, "What's wrong with this machine?" She said, "Nothing." I said, "How much?" $20. I was like, "Oh, all right." Then I find out the goddamn thing sold for like $300. Yeah, my good old Dyson ball. It's great for getting underneath. Boy, the thing swivels all over. I can go underneath the bed. The carpet looks so nice when I get done vacuuming. It has them nice vacuum marks. And the nap of the carpet stands right up. Best vacuum cleaner I ever bought at a garage sale. I know one thing, I wouldn't have paid $300 for it. Jesus. Another thing my grandmother used to always use was borax. She always had a box of borax down in her laundry area. Good old, I remember what was it, Death Valley days, sponsored by 20 Mule Team Borax. Now I know you can still get borax. Matter of fact, I saw a box of laundry detergent. It says, with borax. You know, years back, a friend of mine had, what was it? A rainbow vacuum cleaner. And instead of a bag, it had a tray of water. And the dirt would go into the water. And it came with different scents. You could put lavender or spearmint or whatever in the water. And then when you got done vacuuming, all the dirt was in the water pan. Was the wackiest vacuum cleaner I ever saw. It was called a Rainbow. They sold them door to door, and he fell for one. Like the Kirby man used to come around. And the Fuller Brush man. I remember the Fuller Brush man. He'd ring the bell and yell, Fuller Brush man. And he always gave away either a little tiny bottle of men's aftershave or women's perfume just for talking to him. He'd go, here you go. It was about a 1/16 of an ounce. The Fuller Brush man. My mother used to order from him all the time. Every new brush they came out with, she'd buy one. This one looks good to beat the kids with. Oh, you didn't hear me say that. I have a friend that he's also in remission from cancer. Every morning he drinks a shot glass of cider vinegar. And he says it keeps him in remission. I'm not so sure about that. But every morning he takes a shot glass of cider vinegar. Oh yeah, Kathy. I know that, but my first part-time job in high school, I worked at a funeral home. Vacuuming, dusting, and doing windows. And I had to wash them with white vinegar and then shine them with newspaper. I never heard of such a thing, but boy, do you have nice windows when you get done. I wash so goddamn many windows, I just buy Windex. Windex and a paper towel. That's it. When they showed me that, I was like, you gotta be kidding. Yep. bottle of white vinegar, and then the newspaper. Something about the newsprint. That's what he told me. But believe me, when I got done working that job, I never washed a window with vinegar and newspaper again in my life. Because they had the big fucking windows. I had to stand on a ladder to wash them goddamn glass windows. They were like 7 foot tall and 6 foot wide. And it never fails. Somebody put their hand on them, you know. Now, every now and then, now, I get old-fashioned garlic dills. I can't remember the name of the company that makes them, but they look like my grandmother's. And when I get done eating the pickles, I'll drink the pickle juice. But raw cider vinegar, a shot glass every morning, I don't know. That same thing, if he gets a tad backed up, he goes to the store and gets sauerkraut juice. He says it's a natural laxative. Well, I know sauerkraut is, but where do you get raw apple cider vinegar? They sell it in the store? I've never read the labels. Mainly because most of the time I just get white vinegar, but they carry that in a regular grocery store, raw. I guess I better start reading apple cider vinegar bottles. Brags. I'll have to see if they carry it. Okay. Brags. I'll check it out next time I go to the store. Worth knowing. Seems to work for him. I just can't. First thing in the morning. Oh my God. But he does every morning. Every single morning. Double shot glass. He also eats raw garlic. I tell him, hey, Charlie, don't breathe this way. He has a little, like, velvet pouch. And he keeps a thing of garlic in it. And every now and then he'll crack off a toe, peel it, pop it in his mouth. I'm like, oh, man. I call him dragon breath. Between his cider vinegar and his garlic cloves. Yeah. Yeah, I have some strange friends. Except for Tony and his father, Tony. Tony and Tony Jr., my Italian sausage providers. Yeah, when he called today, you gotta stop over. I'm thinking to myself, stopping at your house is not on my list of things to do. But I stopped. Then he came out with a Ziploc bag. Look what Dad made. Oh boy. Kathy, he's disgusting. I mean, you can smell him coming. You know, the garlic comes out of his pores. Like, Jesus, don't look this way. Don't breathe on me. Oh. Sit downwind of the fan, please. I mean, he eats so goddamn much garlic, it literally, like, comes out of his skin. He smells like a garlic factory. You know, one day we were sitting out back on his deck. He peels a clove of garlic, pops it like a breath mint. Where did I come up with fucking breath mint? Yeah, you just peel it. I'm glad you're sitting at that end of the deck. Don't look this way when you talk. I don't dare ask him any of his other idiosyncrasies. I already know about the cider vinegar and the garlic. I don't want to know about it. And the sauerkraut juice. That was one I didn't need to know about. Yeah, most people buy garlic to put it in their food. He buys garlic to put it in his little velvet pouch and carry around in his pocket. I think he said it's good for his blood pressure or something. I don't know. Almost as bad as when you eat roadkill. Just kidding. Just kidding. The hotline will be ringing in the morning. Look at that camera, idiot. Straighten your banner. This is a classy show here. You don't see the jackalope with a crooked banner, do you? Damn bird. Good to the last drop. This one's called Definitely Dark. I ordered some more Rev. That's an eye-opening coffee in the morning. It's got twice the caffeine. Yeah, REVV, Rev. Yep, it revs you in the morning, all right. Good coffee, though. Although I like good full body dark roast coffee. Anything dark roast. Matter of fact, my friend was telling me to look into Peet's. Peet's Coffee. Peets. Peet's Coffee. He said they got Colombian, Sumatran, you name it. So I guess I have to go online and look for Peet's. Probably expensive shit. I hope they make it in K-cups. That machine's got me spoiled now. Oh yeah, Kathy, the woman down the street, her kids get stains in their clothes. She got. I told her, I said, you know, your mother and your grandmother didn't do that. If something got a stain in it, I said, God, use some Dawn dishwashing liquid. That'll take the stain out, and it's gentle on ducks. Takes a stain out, and you can wash a duck in it. And it's gentle on ducks. I remember, what was that oil spill down south? In the Dawn commercial, they're scrubbing oily ducks with Dawn dishwashing liquid. And then when they got done, you saw the happy ducks. It was a pretty good commercial. They made their point. It gets out stains, but it's safe for ducks. Who thought of that? The researchers at Dawn went, let's pour oil on a duck and see what happens. People from PETA were like, well, you're going to do what? It works. It's safe on ducks. That's what I do. If I get a stain in something before I go to the laundry, I put some dishwashing liquid on it, rub it, then throw it in the washer. And then 55 minutes later, the load is done. Goddamn machine. I hate that machine. I mean, I do have really super clean laundry. But 55 minutes? Jesus. The other machine, 22 minutes. Done. This stupid thing. Matter of fact, I mentioned that at the auto parts store the other day, and the girl behind the counter said, yeah, I got one of them stupid machines too. It takes me forever to do laundry. I said, well, I used to be able to do 2 or 3 loads in a day. Now I do a load on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Thank you, LG. That's why they call me the grumpy old man. Well, Well, I think I will leave the microphone settings right where they are because it sounds great and no echo. Now watch tomorrow this goddamn mic will echo on me. I don't know why that other one did that. This goddamn Samson is an expensive microphone. I don't know why the hell the damn thing, all the settings were the way they should be. But man, that echo was driving me crazy. And that's not a long drive, that's a short putt, believe me. Well, I think it's Italian sausage time, people. I'll be eating about 11 o'clock at the rate I'm going today. You think the volume's too low? I'll have to do a sound check tomorrow. If it's too low, I'll turn it up. And with that, people, everybody have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thanks for showing up. And we will meet again tomorrow night. Take care, everyone. See ya. Take two.